Hello, back with a little update. I guess it's not really little, and from the title, you see that my shoulder is dislocated. So I'm basically like a disabled person, and I will be like that for like most probably the next 6 months because it got like dislocated really hard during sparring yesterday when I was doing sparring in my MMA session. I got a kick, an unexpected kick while I was punching, and it just came out really hard. It was very painful and stuff. I went to the emergency room and just got it reduced, and we got the x-rays and stuff. So yeah, I just dislocated it. And most of the times for athletes, when you dislocate your shoulder, you also tear a lot of ligaments, because there are some important structures around the shoulder like labrum and stuff that when you dislocate it, most of the times that labrum and the other structures that provide stability for your shoulder, they get torn up. So if you don't get it fixed, it usually does not heal on its own. And for athletes, there's a really high rate of recurrence if you don't get it fixed. So I will probably need surgery for my shoulder in the next month or so. But because the incident is really new and stuff, we have to first assess like the structural damage that the dislocation caused. We need to do some MRIs and stuff to get a better understanding of how seriously it is injured. Can you get away without surgery? Some people do, most people don't, especially if you're training at a high performance like me, because I lift and I train some martial arts in total about 5 to 6 times a week. So a half healed shoulder is not gonna hold on with me. It's gonna keep dislocating. So my plan is to just get it out of my way directly. If I have the opportunity, I want to have the surgery as soon as possible and just get it out of the way. So what this means for me is that my whole summer break is basically ruined. I'm not gonna be able to go to the beach. I'm not gonna do basically anything. I can't even dress up myself. Like my t-shirt, I spent around 10-15 minutes to even get this onto place without getting my shoulder out of place. So it's really a really uncomfortable experience, basically. And I will basically live like a disabled person for the next 6 months, including the surgery. That's what I'm considering always when I speak, because in my mind, it's guaranteed that I will need surgery. And I will not be able to train martial arts at all. Basically, my martial arts career for the next year is over, so I can only do some lifting on my uninjured side and maybe some legs and some light cardio like walking and stuff. I can't do some other extremes. Like I can't even run because that would compromise my shoulder and I would probably dislocate again. So I need to avoid dislocating it again because this is its first time, and if it keeps happening, there is a greater chance that I will injure the structural, like the structures around the shoulder more and more every time I dislocate, and it will make the healing harder as well. So the most important part is to not dislocate my shoulder again. So I will have to be really careful. And mentally, I thought that I would be devastated at this point. Like I wouldn't even want to do anything with my life. But after like the first couple of hours, the shock was really bad. Of course, after the incident, I was thinking really negatively and stuff. But this is just the next day after the incident, and I'm not feeling as bad as I thought I would. This was something that I was afraid of for a long time, like shoulder dislocations. They are like one of my worst fears because I train a lot and they're a really serious injury. They're not something to joke about. And I always, even if my shoulder ached a little bit, I was always scared of like, what if this will lead to a dislocation and stuff. I was constantly afraid of this dislocation. And after actually experiencing the real event, like actually dislocating my shoulder, the fear factor just went away from me, because I finally got to taste what it feels like, how it happened and stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm grateful that it happened. Of course I'm not grateful. I'm not gonna enjoy my life for the next couple of months. I'm not gonna be able to train as much. I'm not gonna be able to do the things that I want to do, which is of course really bad for me. But at least now I know how it feels like, and the worst case scenario in my head actually happened. So now in my mind I'm thinking like, you have already been through the worst case scenario in your head and you're still managing. I mean, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Of course it's a big of a deal. I'm gonna probably go through a surgery, so it's not something to mess around with, but still, mentally I'm feeling better than I thought I would. So I'm just gonna use this as an opportunity to kind of change my mindset a little bit, because in my life I always aimed for some sense of security, some sense of certainty with my health, with my exams and everything in my life. I just wanted everything to be perfect all the time. And now my life forced me to face a great deal of uncertainty, which makes me a lot uncomfortable. But I believe that this will help me to change my relationship with uncertainty, and it will train me to accept it more and more. And this is a skill that I think I will develop during the state. And yeah, it kind of shows me how important your health, even for little things, is. Because before you get injured, you tend to think about a lot of different problems, but after you have some kind of a health problem, it doesn't have to be like a specific joint injury as well, any type of health problem, you notice that how important this is to you, to everybody actually. I can't even dress up myself. I can't even zip up my shorts properly because I'm only able to use one hand. So you kind of notice these things and just understand how crucial your health is. And it kind of teaches you to be grateful for the things that you have, for your health, being able to move without pain, being able to perform the things that you want to do. Even that by itself is a great blessing. And in life, we most of the times get lost with a lot of responsibilities and some other daily worries that doesn't matter that much after all, but you only notice it when you actually have a serious problem in your hand, just like a health problem, like an injury. And you notice how dumb you are for getting messed around with some dumb shit. So yeah, this is my first day of experience of my shoulder dislocation, and I will keep you updated. And this is my first video on YouTube after a couple of months, because this past year has been a little hard for me, because my medical school and my work was just like really busy, so I couldn't find time to put onto YouTube. And I thought to myself, yeah, when I finish everything and when I'm healthy and when I'm on track and when I'm mentally okay, I will get back to it. But I just noticed that time is not coming. I mean, my school is finished. Thank God that I have more empty time. I'm in a summer break, but I'm not mentally good right now. I'm not free. I'm not like in a good position, let's say, as I imagined myself I would be. So I stopped waiting for that perfect time and I just pressed record at this point, because life, expect the unexpected, I guess. So yeah, I will keep you updated about my life and how I'm gonna do with this recovery journey, so that it can be maybe helpful to some people who is going through a similar process, or who is going to go through a similar process in the future, so that they can look back at these videos and like see how a normal person experiences these type of problems in their lives and how they get to live with these. So I'm thinking of doing this as a series of like recovery from shoulder dislocation. And yeah, these videos will be largely unedited because I can't bother everything right now. I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, catch you on the next one. Peace.